The Minneapolis shooter wrote these words on his gun: "Where is your God?" And he didn't stop there. He drew it on his magazine along with other disturbing things, like him mocking the Last Supper, writing, "Take this, all of you, and eat," on the ammo that he used. He even set up a target with the face of Jesus, and he laughed at it. It's clear that this wasn't just an attack on children, it was also a direct attack on God. And that's the question, isn't it? Where was God? Now, before we get into the rest of the video, I just want to say that I am praying for everyone that was involved. And if you know of any ways that we can help the families, make sure you link those down below in the comments. Where was God? 2 children were killed, 14 others wounded, and they weren't out on the street or caught in random crossfire. They were inside of a church. As the mayor during the press conference said,
"And don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying."
And in that raw moment of anger and grief, he voiced what a lot of people quietly felt. If prayer works, why didn't it work here? And meanwhile, a lot of political commentators jumped in, while some rushed to blame the shooter's transgender identity, and others said that this proves that America just needs stricter gun laws. But underneath all of that noise, deeper than the left and the right, the question doesn't go away. Where is God in the face of evil like this? Well, part of what makes this story so disturbing is that it wasn't random. The shooter studied other mass killers like Adam Lanza at Sandy Hook. He said that they made mistakes and that he wanted to do it better. So he carefully prepared weapons, and it was clear that he wanted to prove that he was more powerful than God. This wasn't just violence, it was an obsession with becoming godlike through destruction. And yet, despite doing all of that planning, despite arranging the weapons to maximize fatalities as quickly as possible, and choosing to do so at a time when the church was packed with children, only 2 lives were tragically lost. 17 more were wounded, but survived, which is incredibly heartbreaking. But the damage could have been much, much worse. Think about it. Someone who planned to kill dozens, who thought he'd execute a better massacre, failed. It doesn't erase the grief, but it does mean that it's not at all obvious that God was not listening to their prayers. But there's something else that we can't ignore. Christianity never promised a life free of suffering. In fact, it says the opposite, that we should expect troubles in this life. Nor does the Bible dodge the shooter's question. Instead, it points us to Jesus, who was mocked, spit on, beaten, and pierced. The most innocent person to ever live was killed in hatred. And that communion line that the shooter twisted, "Take this, all of you, and eat," that's a reminder that Jesus willingly gave his body for the brokenness of this world. In that broken body, God was answering our pain, not by staying distant, but by entering this world himself to suffer. So, where was God? The cross already gave us the answer. He was here, suffering with us, carrying our grief, and promising that in the end, evil will not win. So make sure you pray for everyone that was hurt and impacted by this tragedy. And if you know of any ways that we can support them, leave those links down below. All right? See you guys next time.